Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is my second video, but it's my first video in English. So, to make things interesting, we are gonna be taking a look at this book today. This says The Foot of Kuzegari. Sorry, that was half Persian, half English. I mean Finglish. So, the name is Foot Kuzegari, which translates to the art of vase making. And the art of vase making is an idiom itself, meaning to know what you are doing, to be an absolute master of it. So, you know the art of vase making. When I stumbled upon this book in my teenage years, I was baffled by it. There was no single source of idioms in Persian, so I could learn and to make contents for YouTube like this in the future, I think.
Nice.
So, this book is written by one of the very well received writers in the country, Mustafa Rahman Dost. I'm going to showcase you the first one today, and we are gonna learn 4 elemental idioms in Persian for today with translation and explanation. Now, let's get into it. So, this is the first edition of the book, and all I can say is it's in alphabetical order, and it has so much idioms, even those we do not use every day, but it's a very good source. For today's video, I've chosen 4 idioms that are connected to the elementals of the earth, of life, better to say. First one is water, then the fire, then the soil, and the wind. Now, what do Persian idioms say about these 4 elements? I guess we'll find out. Moving on to the first idiom. The first idiom, which I'm gonna be explaining in English, is this: to learn how to drink water like a donkey. The idiom itself is a little self-explanatory, but I will translate what it says here. It says, the way of drinking water is mostly different in different animals. So, how the donkey drinks water and why is it an idiom? So, when the donkey is trying to drink water from a fountain or a river, he puts his teeth like this, so the teeth will act as a filter for the water the donkey is drinking. So the water will be clean in the mouth of the animal. So, when we use this idiom, to learn how to drink water from donkey, well, it's not a very respectful idiom to say, but you would say this to a person who is struggling, even doing simplest of the jobs. You go to the guy and tell him, learn to drink water from donkey.
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep just now.
Moving on to the next. The next idiom is about fire. This idiom actually has 2 meanings to it. So, what's the idiom? Wherever the fire gets, it spreads, is the most accurate translation I can give you. So, why it has 2 uses? First of all, a fire represents a rebellion, an unrest, a civil unrest. So, when the civil unrest begins, it's nothing, pretty much nothing at the beginning. But as the time proceeds, the fire spreads. And the second explanation is about an entrepreneur guy who gets his way everywhere he goes. So, when you English people say, oh, that dude is on fire, guess where that came from? Persia. Ancient Persia. Moving on to the next idiom. This one is about the wind element, and it's actually very common to use in Persia and everywhere else, I think. This idiom, this is an international idiom. This is how we Persians have conquered the world, through the idioms, culture and literature. So, what's the idiom? What comes with the wind goes by it. What comes with the wind goes by it. باد آورده را باد میبرد. That was in Persian. I'm sorry. This video has to be fully in English. So, this idiom has a very interesting history to it. One day, Khosrow Parvez, the last king from the Sassanid empires, was once leading his army to the city of Alexandria in Egypt, which was controlled by the Romans at that time. So, the Romans, in fear of Khosrow Parvez's mighty Persian army, the Romans put all their treasures in Alexandria on ships. And as a matter of bad luck for Romans, the wind that day was on our side. So when the wind started blowing to the ships were misled to the Persian army instead of going to the Rome. And the Persians get these treasures very easily and they transfer it to Iran, Persia at that time. So years later, when Arabs invade the Sassanid Empire and topple them, they get one treasure very easily, and that treasure is the same treasure that Khosrow Parvez got from Romans, and that treasure's name is Bad Avard, which means something that came with the wind. Bad Avard. Bad means wind in Farsi. So there is this saying from ancient times about that what comes by the wind, it goes by the wind. It's about this treasure and how easily Arabs got their hand on it after Persians had their hands easily on it. Moving on to the next idiom. This one is about dust, or soil, I'll better say. The soil element, the dirt, the earth. It goes by, the dust from the flock makes the wolf see clearly. The dust from the flock makes the wolf see clearly. خاک رمه چشم گرگ را روشن می کند. گرگ means wolf and خاک means dust in Persian. So what does this idiom mean? When the dust gets into your eyes, it itches, it aches, it hurts. But what happens when a wolf spots the dust from a flock from miles away? I think you've guessed that correctly. The wolf would see clearly where the flock is, and he can have dinner for a day, or maybe two, or maybe get killed. I don't know. Being a wolf is very hard. This was today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more English and Persian videos from me, Arshia, your favorite guy from Tehran. Thank you and goodbye. Have a nice day.